he's awake. Perfect timing, Hank. So here's 4-month-old Hank. He was 4 months on the 26th. And he is doing awesome. He is a great sleeper, and he is just, I don't know, he's like a joy to be around. He is very silly and smiley. And for the most part, when he's crying, it's because he's hungry or he's tired and he's not asleep. And that's pretty much it. He's a very content baby. Wilson was pretty good too, but just, I find Hank very, very content and very easy to figure out and to soothe. He is eating like a champ, so he's exclusively breastfed, and he is a solid baby. I think he was in like the 50th percentile when I had his little appointment for his needles, but he looks like a little turkey to me, but apparently he's like the average size. As far as like changes and developmental things at the 4-month mark, every baby is different, so don't try to compare babies because they all meet the, you know, those little milestones at different times. I remember like Wilson would not crawl, and I was teaching like that mom baby fitness class, and all of the babies were crawling except for him, and they were all around the same age, and I was like, I felt like there was something wrong with him, or I was just really anxious for him to crawl. Aside from being very cute, Hank is starting to get really smart. So at 4 months, that's when I find you really start to notice a difference in how attentive they are and how much they can hold their head up and sit up and do things like that. So he just started being able to sit in a bumbo chair or in a high chair, and the high chair like has a supportive back, and I just kind of recline it a little bit, but that makes things a lot easier for me because it just gives you a little bit of a break. Oh, that was a burp. I don't like leaving him in his swing too long anymore. I feel like he's starting to get a little bit too big for that, and it frustrates him a little bit. So the fact that I can sit him in a bumbo chair, like I said, or sit him in a high chair is awesome. What else? He just started to be able to like reach for a toy and pull it into himself and either like play with it with his hand or chew on it. Like he's got some of these little bears with the blanket on the bottom. But I think that's like a huge change, that he's able to like hold a stuffed animal or a toy even like that, and be comforted by either petting it or kind of playing with it. That keeps him entertained a little bit, which is good for the mama. What else? He just started to roll. Hey, good job. I don't know exactly when that's supposed to happen. I kind of forget, but he just started rolling from his back to his belly and his belly to his back. Probably, I don't know, 3 or 4 days ago. And so now I have to keep an eye on him a little bit more because I put him on a blanket on the floor a little bit and he'll roll right off the blanket. I'm just scared he's gonna like hit his face off the floor. So yeah, so he's getting a little bit squirmier. He's starting to show interest in food. So like he watches us eat very intently. He's showing signs that he's almost ready to start eating. Like he's drooling a lot more. Both of my kids drooled like crazy, but anyway, he's drooling a ton, and he's showing interest in food and stuff like that, and he's able to hold his head up. So I will wait until the 6-month mark to feed him because that's what's recommended. And I think for things like that, I'm somebody who would just like to kind of stick to the rules. I know some people are going to disagree with me, but by 6 months, he will definitely start eating. And I didn't do baby-led weaning last time. I just kind of did what everybody else does. I started with cereals and like, you know, pureed sweet potato and things like that, and then moved on to vegetables and fruit, and Will did really, really well. Hank weighs 17 pounds. And when I took him to his last doctor's appointment, he was in the 50th percentile, even though to me, like, I find he looks like a sturdy, chunky baby. I guess he's pretty much average. He's now wearing size 3 diapers and they fit him really well. They're definitely not too big. I think they're the perfect size. He's wearing size 9 sleepers, 9-month I should say, or between 6 and 12 months. A lot of 6-month stuff still fits him, but I have him mostly in size 9 months, and that seems to fit him really well. What else? I'm still dressing him mostly in sleepers like this, but I find he's long enough that I will put like a t-shirt and pants on him, which is good in the summer because it's been really, really warm. I'm still not putting sunscreen on him. I probably won't until he's 6 months old. So I've just been keeping him out of the sun and keeping him in light colored clothing, with a hat on or under a shade. And he really, really does like being outside. He still loves getting a bath. He still loves his brother. Another thing that's kind of new, and I don't know if this is necessarily a good thing, but he's starting to be interested in the TV. So if we have a cartoon on for Will or something like that, I notice that Hank will actually watch it and be entertained by it. I remember when Will was probably about 6 months, I would put Baby Einstein or something like that on the TV or on the computer for a bit. Oh no! On the TV or on the computer a little bit, if I had to clean or something like that. So he's just starting to get fussy now. He's probably hungry. I think that's all that is really new with him. He's just eating right now. The only other thing that I really noticed is that he is kind of frustrated and chewing on his hand a lot, and he's drooling a lot. So I feel like he's starting to show the early signs of teething, and Will was the exact same way at this point, like at the 4-month mark. Like he really seems like his gums are sore and chews on his hand. But if he's anything like Wilson didn't get his first tooth until he was 7 or 8 months. So this could be a long, hard go. But he drools so much that he probably wears 3 different sleepers in a day. And I do put those bandana bibs on him. Like I have a lot of cute ones, but he saturates them in like, I don't know, 15 minutes. I don't know if it's because both of my kids were tongue-tied or if I just have drooly babies, but my boys both are really, or Wilson was, he's not anymore, but really, really drooly. Before I wrap this video up, I just want to give a little update of like the stuff that I'm using at the 4-month mark. Some things that I had since I had Wilson and some things that I bought and what I liked and what I didn't like. And I'm just going to give a quick update. So the major thing that people ask about is my Halo swivel bassinet, and that's the bassinet that he's sleeping in currently, like right now. And somebody asked me in my last video if I really liked it and if I would recommend it. And here is my honest opinion. I love it. He sleeps really well in it, but that may just be because he is a good sleeping baby. He does like the vibrate option. So when I first lay him down for his naps, I do put it on vibrate, and that I find helps to keep him soothed to sleep. But I think it retails for around $400. It might be $300, but anywhere it's somewhere between, I think it's $399, so $400. You can correct me if I'm wrong, but my only complaint about the bassinet is that, I mean, it's intended to be kept next to your bed so that you can like kind of swivel the bassinet and pull it over you in bed so that you don't have to get out of bed to get the baby. And it's very sturdy and it's very well constructed. But if you're somebody who likes to nap your baby in different rooms in the house, it is impossible to move. It weighs a ton, and the structure of it, like the legs on the bottom of it, have like a huge wide base, and you have to take it apart to move it. So it's just really, really hard to move. When I had Wilson, I just had like a cheapy bassinet from Walmart, and it did have like a little vibrate on it. And it definitely wasn't as like streamlined or like fancy looking as the Halo swivel, but if I was to go back, I would probably just buy one of the Walmart ones again, so that I could move it from room to room. I bought the Halo swivel bassinet secondhand, and I got it for a really good price, so I'm not like disappointed that I have it. I like the look of it, and he sleeps really well in it. It's just not portable, and if you're to buy it new, it's a little bit too expensive. The second baby thing that I really love that I used so much with Wilson, and actually it went through 4 kids, so my sister-in-law used it for both of her girls and then Wilson used it and now Hank has it, is the Bumbo chair. Even at 4 months, I find he is so comfortable in that, and he will sit in that and be entertained and be, you know, comfortable for longer stretches of time. Other than those few things that I've been using all the time, he does like a few little toys, which I'm gonna go grab and show you. There's the Bumbo chair. Oh my goodness, you have a lot of toys. So the first thing is one of these. Forget what it's called again. I think it's like an O-ball or something like that. I'll link it in the description box below. But anyway, this is like so light and it's really easy for him to hook his fingers into it and hold it. So if he's laying on his back on a mat, I'll put this on his chest and he kind of picks it up with his hand and holds it up and looks at it. So this is, I think, like a good toy. You can wash it. It was Wilson's. We've had it forever. I know that you can still buy these, and you can actually buy ones that have little like rattly, jingly things on the inside. But he seems to like this. He also has a few little stuffies with rattles in them that he will grasp and basically chew on. And then he has a couple of these little babies, we call them, but it's basically like a little teddy bear with a blanket on the bottom, and he loves this guy. And my personal favorite is the crinkly book. He loves this, don't you, bud? And last but not least, so this is one of my favorite things, and I feel like he's a little bit young for this right now, but he can still hold on to it. This is for teething. And the reason I like this so much is because it is so easy for them to grip onto. Zoli or Zolly, I'm not sure, but I'll try to find those online and link them. Oh, I almost dropped it. So he can actually hold that and chew on it. And he does drop it, but it's really easy for him to grip, and he can hold that in his hand and chew on it for like a good 5 minutes. And if he's laying on his back, sometimes he'll drop it onto his chest, and he's able to find that and bring it back up to his mouth. So if you have a baby with sore gums, I find it's hard to find something that's good for them to chew on that you can like sterilize, that they really like. But he, I mean, he's only 4 months old and he loves holding on to that and chewing on that. Don't you, bud? Alright, I think that's enough for this video. I hope you liked it. I hope that it was entertaining or helpful if you're a mom yourself or if you're about to have a baby. I don't really know how to format these videos because I'm kind of new at this, so if you have any recommendations for things that you would like me to cover or talk about, please let me know. And if you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the comments section below. Subscribe to my channel, and I will see you very soon in my next video. Bye.